we discussed here IP address, right? Perfect. Okay, today what we are going to talk about, we will be talking about backup, Windows Server backup and restore. Have you guys heard about uh, Windows Server backup and restore?
Yes, yes.
So
It's
do
system
you
state backup we used to
r-
do, and for
right,
other.
right. So the most important is to know the concept of the backup, types of the backup, and concept of that. Basically currently, right, most of the companies are using for the third party backup, third party vendors backup, right? You heard about third party backup. What are those?
Yes, we are using Veritas.
Veritas, correct? Veritas, we
And
have the Commvault, we have, right?
yes,
We
Veeam,
have the Veeam
Veeam,
backup, we have, and IBM,
ESM.
which is TSM backup, we have. There are many third party vendors are there. These people are supporting for the 100% losses, 100% what you called 100% zero loss data, right? If something happened, these people will be responsibilities to uh, avoid the data losses, right? And we should also know that is in a traditional is a standard Windows Server backup. The concept basically in Windows Server we can install backup feature. Okay, then with the help of feature we will be taking a backup and restore. So basically when you talk about the traditional method of Windows feature, you have that is in 5 type of backup. I think you guys heard about 5 type of backup. Number one is you have that is in system state backup, is also called as a normal backup, right? It's also called as a full backup. And second one is you can see this incremental backup, correct? Third one is differential backup. Fourth one is daily backup. And the fifth one is copy backup. Just for the knowledge purpose and entry purpose, you would need to know this, how this backup works, right? So even these people has this concept, right? They have to have a agent based agent based vendors where you have that is in it is client side and the server side, that agent has to be installed, right? And then with the help of that agent you would be able to connecting to the backup, and you can take a backup. This process is going to happening. And here you need to know that is how the system state backup. Basically in a traditional method we will be scheduling monthly ones, right? Monthly ones. And incremental backup, it's also scheduling weekly ones. So what is basically incremental backup and what is a normal backup or full backup or system start backup? It will take a backup entire operating system. It is aligned with your application, right? Software, right? Active Directory, register setting, everything. It is going to take a backup. And once you restored, it will be restored everything. You don't need to have any additional things. That is, it is taking the huge space. That's what we will not be taking a backup daily or weekly, and we can plan for the monthly ones. And incremental backup, we can plan for that is in weekly once. But what is the meaning of the incremental backup? This incremental backup will take only newly written data. Newly written data. If the data backed up, it won't touch it, right? What you mean by incremental backup? Only backup will take only newly written backup. So it will not touch backed up data. Remember, this is a backed up data. Okay. So you can plan for the weekly ones. Same in a differential backup also can be planned for weekly ones. Okay, the difference is here incremental and differential backup. This will take current, this will take a backup. This will take a backup previous week as well as current week. So its only difference is while restoring, you no need to have the multiple restoration point. Here you can have the multiple restoration point, but while taking a backup, you have the data more, space would be more. So there is a major changes, depends on the requirement. You can plan for and schedule. You can use this differential backup or incremental backup. This daily backup, it would be midnight 11:59 on that day, right? On that date, every day, on that day. Okay, it would be midnight 11:59 to next 11:59, correct? It's at 24 hours on that date. So you can plan for out of business hours when you want to take a backup. It will be going to take a backup on that days. And this copy backup, it's normal where you are doing for the copy paste, right? For we are taking a backup in external drive from system to. This is not needed, but whenever you need it, you can use that backup, copy backup. You can take.
Copy backup in the sense robocopy.
Not robocopy. You can, yeah, you can use the robocopy command. Can be done. That is a multiple commands to depends on situation. You can use it, but it's a traditional method. Normally, you can copy and paste it for an external drive, right?
Okay.
The command, yeah.
Suppose we are taking an entire D drive to another server's
Right
likewise.
now, and also along with that, you need some permissions along with permission.
Okay.
Say you have around 200 data, 200 terabyte data. 200 terabyte, you wanted to transfer entire data to the other server,
right?
So you will not be, using this on spot. Think about your existing server going to be migrating to the other server, right?
Yes.
And
That
during
case
that time, you can use for the robocopy and others, command you can use it. That should come. Ranil, who is speaking background noise we are getting? Okay, right? And during that time, you can use for the using command prompt. Okay. To use that Xcopy, robocopy, right? It would help you that using, and those you can use for on spot. Is not scheduling anything, and you would be able to use it. Getting?
Yes, clear.
Right. So now, if you want to take a backup, what we can do, we will be installing a backup feature. And these are all we talked about data backup. Okay, these are all we talked about data backup. And when you taken the system state backup, it is also talk about the Active Directory backup. Active Directory backup. When you talk about the Active Directory backup, for restoration, especially Active Directory restoration, you need to follow the different method, right? It won't be a traditional restoration, would not be here for Active Directory restoration. You have the design there's a two type of the activity restoration. One is authority to restore and the non-authority to restore, right? And before you talk about this active directory restoration, the actually active directory maintenance is one of the important. What is active directory maintenance here? Now, any object, any active directory object deleted, by default, it will not deleted permanently. Default, it will not, object will not delete permanently. What's the process here? Once object deleted, AD object, don't confuse here. Here you are talking about the data, traditional method of the backup, data backup, right? Here we are talking about the active directory object. Once active directory object deleted, object means what?
Users,
Object
computers.
users, right? Users, computer, OUs, right? Groups, right? Whatever the active directory object you deleted, it will move to, the deleted object move to tombstone. Okay, remember this might be asking question interview. The process would ask you that is in how active directory maintenance is going to start. Okay, how to active directory maintenance process going to happening. The maintenance process is going to happening here. Once AD object is deleted, object deleted, it will move to the tombstone. What is a tombstone here? It's a default tombstone is a tombstone. It is a default active directory place where can store deleted object. And tombstone has a life cycle 180 days. Tombstone life cycle is 180 days. Okay, and this would be 180 days. It is a till 2003, Windows 2003. The life cycle is 60 days. But after Windows 2008 and above, the life cycle is 180 days. This days can be modified. Okay, this days can be modified in the active directory partitions. Now, what will happen after 180 days expired? Okay, after 180 days expired, object, now there is a default active directory cleanup process happening. There is default active directory cleanup process happening every 24 hours. Every 24 hours. During this cleanup process, it will, this after 180 days expired, right? It will move into, it will be become a lingering object. This object after 180 days expired, those object we call as a lingering object. Now there is a default active directory cleanup process happening every 24 hours. The default process going to happening. During this time, it will clean up. It will clean up whatever the lingering objects are there. It will be clean up from lingering object. It means it will clean up all the dead or deleted object. So it will avoid for the design your application season. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now, Microsoft has bought one more feature. Now people are worried about how do I restore from the tombstone, what is the process and all. It is little difficult from to restoration from the tombstone, and it is not success rate is a less success rate. So what Microsoft is bought is they have introduced the recycle binary, active data recycle binary. Okay, so it is recycle binary can be enabled from 2008 onwards. In 2008, you can enable by using command prompt, by using PowerShell commandlet. However, from 2008 onwards, Windows 2008 onwards can be able, the operating system I'm talking about, Active Directory 2008 R2 onwards, right, can be enable recycle binary, can be enabled using GUI as well. To enable recycle binary, our forest function level must be Windows 2008 and R2 and above. So then only you would be able to avail this feature, or R2 and above. Again, if we enabled recycle binary, right? If enable recycle binary, it will applicable entire forest. It cannot be enabled only per domain. It cannot be enabled for the only one domain controller. And to applicable entire forest, it must be replicated all the domain controller healthy. The replication must be healthy. Okay, this is the prerequisite. Again, once recycle binary enabled, if object deleted, deleted object move to where? Recycle binary, and the recycle binary life cycle is 180 days.